Our story begins with a man who once stood on the biggest stage in the world, surrounded by thousands of cheering fans. He had trained his entire life to become an Olympic champion. Every morning, he pushed his body beyond its limits. Every injury, every failure, and every painful defeat was supposed to lead him to one thing: a medal. But sometimes, even after giving everything you have, life still finds a way to take everything away. Years later, this former Olympic medalist is no longer standing on a podium. He is wearing a police uniform. And he is not the only one. A group of former Olympic athletes who once represented their country in different sports have joined the police force through a special recruitment program. They are fast, strong, disciplined, and highly trained. But they soon discover that catching criminals is completely different from winning a competition. Because this time, their opponent is not another athlete. It is a powerful and corrupt customs official who controls a massive smuggling network, and he will do anything to protect his criminal empire. The story begins with a dangerous incident at a harbor. A shipment arrives under the protection of a customs official named Kwon Young-jian. On the surface, everything appears completely normal. The containers are inspected, the paperwork is approved, and the shipment is cleared without any problems. But hidden inside those containers is something far more dangerous than ordinary goods. Illegal drugs, weapons, stolen valuables, and countless other criminal products are being smuggled into the country. The entire operation is controlled by Kwon Young-jian. He has powerful connections, loyal criminals, and corrupt officials working for him. Whenever anyone tries to investigate his activities, the evidence mysteriously disappears. Witnesses suddenly change their statements, and anyone who gets too close to the truth is quickly silenced. But Kwon Young-jian makes one serious mistake. He underestimates a group of former Olympic athletes who have recently become police officers. The team includes several people with completely different athletic backgrounds. One of them is a former boxing medalist who possesses incredible strength and fighting skills. Another is a former shooting champion with unbelievable accuracy. There is also a former swimmer who can move through water faster than almost anyone, a track athlete with extraordinary speed, and a former gymnast whose flexibility and balance make her extremely difficult to catch. During their training, their commander quickly realizes that these officers are not ordinary recruits. They may lack experience as police officers, but each one possesses a special skill that could become extremely useful in the field. However, the team members do not immediately get along. Some of them believe that being a police officer requires discipline and teamwork. Others are still mentally stuck in their athletic careers. They are used to competing against one another, not working together. Their problems become even worse when they are assigned a simple patrol mission. The officers are sent to investigate a suspicious delivery at a warehouse near the harbor. The mission seems easy. They believe they will simply question a few suspects and return to the station. But the moment they arrive, everything goes wrong. The criminals immediately realize that the police are there. Instead of surrendering, they run in different directions. One suspect escapes through a narrow alley. Another climbs onto the roof. A third jumps into the water and tries to escape by swimming toward a nearby boat. The police officers chase them, and for the first time, their athletic abilities become useful. The former track athlete runs after one of the criminals and catches him within seconds. The former gymnast jumps across a narrow gap between two buildings and lands perfectly on the other side. The former swimmer dives into the water and catches the escaping suspect before he can reach the boat. Meanwhile, the former boxer faces several criminals at the same time. At first, the criminals laugh at him. They believe that one police officer cannot fight all of them. But they quickly realize that they have made a terrible mistake. Using the skills he developed during years of professional training, he takes down one attacker after another. Within moments, the entire group is lying on the ground. The officers successfully complete their first mission, but while searching the warehouse, they discover something shocking. The criminals are not operating independently. Every shipment is connected to the same customs official, Kwon Young-jian. The team begins investigating him, but they soon discover that he is far more powerful than they expected. Whenever they find evidence against him, someone higher up makes the case disappear. Even worse, Kwon Young-jian learns that the new police team is investigating his organization. Instead of being afraid, he becomes amused. He believes the officers are nothing more than inexperienced athletes playing at being police officers. So he decides to teach them a lesson. Soon, the team begins facing problems everywhere they go. A witness they were supposed to protect disappears. Important evidence is stolen from the police station. One of their informants is attacked before he can reveal the truth. The officers slowly realize that someone inside the system is helping the criminals. They can no longer trust everyone around them. At the same time, the team members begin dealing with their own personal struggles. The former Olympic boxer has been carrying the pain of losing his athletic career. The former swimmer struggles with the fear that she may never achieve anything meaningful again. Another member is constantly compared to his former Olympic success. They all join the police force hoping to find a new purpose. But instead, they find themselves facing the same pressure they experienced as athletes. This time, however, losing does not mean losing a medal. It could mean losing someone's life. The investigation takes a major turn when the team discovers that Kwon Young-jian is preparing his biggest smuggling operation yet. A huge shipment is about to enter the country. If it succeeds, the criminals will earn an enormous amount of money, and the operation will become almost impossible to stop. The team wants to arrest Kwon Young-jian immediately, but they do not have enough evidence. Their commander warns them not to act recklessly. However, the corrupt official is already one step ahead. He orders his men to eliminate anyone connected to the investigation. The police officers suddenly become targets themselves. One night, several criminals attack the team. The officers are caught off guard, but they refuse to surrender. The former boxer fights through multiple attackers. The former gymnast uses her agility to move through the building and rescue her teammates. The former shooter protects the group from a distance with incredible precision. For the first time, they stop fighting as individuals. They begin fighting as a team. And that is exactly what makes them dangerous. After surviving the attack, the officers finally discover the truth about the corrupt customs official. Kwon Young-jian has been using his position to control the entire smuggling process. He decides which containers will be inspected, which shipments will be ignored, and which criminals will be protected. He has turned the customs system into his personal criminal empire. But the officers also discover something even more shocking. A senior police official has been helping him. This explains why every investigation against Kwon Young-jian has failed. The criminals have been protected from the inside. Now the team understands that they cannot rely on the normal system. They must catch the criminals themselves. The final shipment arrives at the harbor. Hundreds of criminals are involved. Kwon Young-jian believes that everything is under control. He has no idea that the police team is already waiting for him. The officers divide themselves into groups. The former swimmer enters the harbor from the water. The former gymnast moves through the containers. The former shooter takes a position where she can protect the entire team. The former track athlete chases down the criminals who try to escape. And the former boxer heads directly toward Kwon Young-jian's most dangerous men. The operation quickly turns into chaos. Criminals run in every direction. Cars crash through the harbor. Containers are opened. Weapons are drawn. But this time, the athletes are ready. Every skill they develop during years of training becomes a weapon. The runner uses speed. The swimmer uses endurance. The gymnast uses balance and agility. The shooter uses precision. And the boxer uses strength. Together, they move through the harbor like a perfectly coordinated team. But Kwon Young-jian manages to escape. He reaches the container holding the most important evidence and attempts to destroy everything. The officers chase him. Finally, the former boxer catches up with them. Kwon Young-jian believes that money and power will protect him. He tells the officer that people like him can never defeat someone with connections. But the officer gives him a simple answer. He may have connections. He may have money. He may have powerful people protecting him. But now, he is facing a team that refuses to lose. A fierce fight begins. Kwon Young-jian's men attack from every direction, but the police officers protect one another. The former gymnast saves her teammate from an attack. The former shooter stops a criminal from escaping. The former swimmer catches another suspect near the water. And finally, the entire team surrounds Kwon Young-jian. His criminal empire begins collapsing in front of his eyes. The evidence is secured. The corrupt officials are arrested. The smugglers are captured. And the man who once believed he was untouchable is finally taken away in handcuffs. But the most important victory is not simply the arrest. It is what the former athletes have achieved. They once believed that their lives were over after their Olympic careers ended. They thought their greatest achievements were behind them. But they discover that sometimes losing one dream can lead you toward another. They may no longer stand on an Olympic podium. But now, they are fighting for something much bigger than medals. They are fighting for justice. And that is the story of Good Boy, a thrilling action series about former Olympic athletes who turn their incredible skills into powerful weapons against crime. They may look like ordinary police officers, but when criminals make the mistake of challenging them, they quickly discover one terrifying truth. These officers were trained to compete at the highest level in the world, and they absolutely hate losing.